Hello, everybody. This is Moshe Rothschild from the Global Israel Alliance, bringing you the news for the week ending July 10th, 2020, the top stories from Israel from this past week. In the last 24 hours, the health ministry announced that there were nearly 1,500 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours in Israel. And this signals a marked rise in the number of coronavirus cases this week. Almost every day was north of 800 new cases, maybe north of 1,000. And the government has said that if we hit the 2,000 a day average, it is likely we're going to go back to a complete lockdown. They are locking down different neighborhoods. This week they announced certain neighborhoods of Jerusalem, Lod, Ramla, Beit Shemesh, Kiryat Malachi. The Defense Ministry this week announced that Israel launched a new satellite called the Ofek 16. The Defense Minister, Benny Gantz, said technological superiority and intelligence capabilities are essential to the security of the state of Israel. And boy, is he right. This past week, a large fire broke out at Iran's Natanz nuclear facility. Iranian officials said that the fire caused extensive damage and could slow the development of advanced centrifuges. They believe that Israel was behind the attack. We have not acknowledged that, but if you want my personal opinion, I would bet we were. The IDF aircraft struck terror targets in northern Gaza this week in response to 3 rockets that were fired into Israel from Gaza. Of course, doesn't make the news, at least not the mainstream news. This week, the IDF chief, his name is Aviv Kochavi, the chief of staff, he was in a helicopter and the helicopter began to plummet. Luckily, the pilot regained control of the helicopter when it was about 100 feet off the ground. The chopper was flown to a base close by immediately after the incident to have it examined. Our defense minister, Benny Gantz, was quarantined this week as corona cases hit a new high. On Tuesday, Gantz went into quarantine. He had been exposed to a corona carrier who had become sick on Sunday, and so he's still able to fulfill his duties, but in quarantine. This week, they reported that Netanyahu's approval rating plummeted in the latest polls. The public approval dropped to 46% from a high of 74% 2 months ago, as this second wave of coronavirus pandemic has hit. Netanyahu reported, it was, I think, in today's newspaper, saying that we opened the economy too early. In sad news, Charlie Daniels, right, the famous country music legend of The Devil Went Down to Georgia fame, he died at the age of 83. He was an incredible Israel supporter. And just to read a quote from him, a recent quote from him, he had said, "I just want the world to know that I love my Jewish brothers and sisters and pray daily for the peace of Jerusalem and detest the anti-Semitism abroad in the world today." Especially if you saw what happened this week from the NFL. Okay, we're not going to go there because this is news from Israel. This week, Israeli tour guides some of them went on a hunger strike over the corona restrictions. Israeli tour guides are demanding government assistance and a roadmap to return to work as the restrictions begin to tighten again in Israel, a story very close to my heart. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the summary of some of the top stories this week from Israel. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom, a great weekend, and we will see you next week. This is Moshe Rothschild from the Global Israel Alliance, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Now, if you'd like to go to our website, it's israelalliance.org, israelalliance.org.